Hi, I'm Mikkel Becker.
And I'm Debbie Martin. Conditioning a dog to love a basket muzzle is an important life skill. The nice thing about a dog being comfortable wearing a basket muzzle is sometimes it allows for less restraint to occur when procedures are being done at the veterinary hospital or the groomers, but it still makes everyone feel safe and comfortable. If the muzzle's only put on your dog when something bad's going to happen, it's going to have a negative association. By proactively and preventatively teaching our dogs that the muzzle's a great thing, that you're going to get treats out of it, and it's a treat basket, we make it fun from the start. We might teach this with puppies as preventive. We can also teach it to adult dogs. Just remember that whenever a dog has a muzzle on, it's important to still pay attention to their emotional well-being and their body language. Just because a dog's wearing a muzzle does not give us permission to proceed with the procedure if they're showing signs of fear, anxiety, and stress.
There are a lot of different muzzle types out there. When you're looking for a muzzle for your dog, aim to use a basket muzzle. This allows your dog to still pant and to dissipate heat, as well as to still take treats. And with basket muzzles, there are definitely a lot of different varieties. If your dog has used one in the past and maybe doesn't have that great of an association with it, you may even want to switch to a different type of basket muzzle. What's important is that it fits your dog well. Some are designed for dogs with a little bit longer nose, while others are better for dogs with a wider mouth. So you want to choose the one that really will fit your pet. For brachycephalic dogs, such as a pug or a bulldog, you can also look at other options such as an air muzzle or even an Elizabethan cone, or a muzzle that's made specifically for a flatter nosed dog.
Once you've found the right muzzle for your dog, it's now time to start your training. But first you've got to set up the training environment. Find a non-distracting, quiet location where there's no other pets nearby. Use your treatment station or other non-slip surface. Incorporate aromatherapy or music therapy. You might spray the muzzle with pheromones 10 to 15 minutes before the training session. And don't forget those favorite treats. When you start your basket muzzle training, you're going to want to have a large variety of high-value treats for your dog. It can be tricky getting the treats into the muzzle, so a couple options might be spray cheese, canned dog food. You can use a pretzel rod to put spray cheese on it. Sometimes you can use the dog's regular kibble. You can also cut up string cheese or hot dogs in thin strips, or freeze-dried turkey or chicken, something that's really yummy that your dog likes and it's easy for them to eat and fairly easy for you to put through the basket muzzle as well. Now that we've got the environment set up and all the things that we need, now we've got to start the training process.
When we train our dog to a muzzle, it's important to work at our dog's pace and make sure that they stay comfortable, happy, and relaxed. We want the muzzle to equal fun and lots of good treats. Whenever the muzzle is out, treats come. Whenever the muzzle goes away, the treats go away. So our dog starts to have happy anticipation whenever the muzzle comes out. Inside of the muzzle, we can have a treat spread on the inside to invite our dog to want to put their nose in there. We can also have some loose treats with our hand cupped underneath the muzzle to also invite our dog to investigate and to check out the muzzle. We may hold the muzzle in our hand, or we may also place it down on the ground. You can also clip a leash onto the muzzle, and this makes it where you can actually pull the muzzle away to replace your treats without having to lean over the top of your dog. And it also prevents your dog from actually walking away with the muzzle. And believe me, dogs learn to really like these muzzles, so that's something that actually could happen. You want to pull the muzzle up and away as the dog finishes the treat. Ideally, you want sessions to be short and really fun. So after about 3 or 4 times, go ahead and end your session and redirect your dog to a different activity. We don't want to push too far, too fast with our dogs. For some dogs, the very start of the muzzle training process might just be getting rewards for looking at the muzzle or getting treats right at the edge of the muzzle. So we really work at their pace. For other dogs, they may go really fast and put their nose in all the way right away. What's important though is that we don't buckle the straps too soon. We want our dog to be really comfortable and super relaxed with the entire process. One way that we can do this is actually encourage our dog to follow and to keep their nose inside of the muzzle by actually luring with treats in the muzzle as we walk with our dog. Once your dog is really eager to put their nose in and there's no longer any hesitation, we can go ahead and switch over to training our dog to put their nose in willingly without having to have a treat on the inside of the muzzle to do so. We can do this by rewarding our dog for short periods of having their nose in. So if they even just start to stick their nose in, let's go ahead and reward that. And we can start to build on our dog putting their nose further in and holding their nose in there for longer durations. Now remember, work in really small baby steps. Once your dog is comfortable putting his or her nose into the muzzle, now it's time to get them comfortable with having the straps placed. When your dog is starting to eat the treats, what we can do is start to get them comfortable with having the muzzle straps put around the back of their neck. The other thing that we can do is actually invite our dog to put their own head in through the straps and into the muzzle by having it already pre-buckled before they put their nose inside. Later we can work on tightening the straps, but in the initial process we can go ahead and have them buckled loosely. When our dog is wearing the muzzle, we still want it to be really happy and fun for them to do so. We can make the muzzle happy by having it only worn for really short sessions, and as they're comfortable we can start to elongate the time that they wear the muzzle. At the very start, it might just be having the muzzle on for a few seconds, lots of treats, and then we take it off. And later we can start to build up on that duration. One way that we can gauge if our dog is comfortable and relaxed is by asking them to do a trick that they really enjoy doing, such as a shake, a spin, or a sit. If you notice that your dog isn't responding to any of their known cues, or if you notice a change in their body language, we may need to go back to an easier part in the muzzle training process. Because we want our pets to be really happy and relaxed rather than concerned or anxious when they're wearing the muzzle. You can also add in a cue to your dog putting their nose inside of the muzzle. You may say a cue such as muzzle that invites your dog to put their nose inside. Or a lot of times I like to use a really fun cue such as bacon as I invite my dog to put their nose inside. If you have a dog that has displayed aggression in the past, or a dog that becomes tense, anxious, or otherwise acts upset whenever you approach valued food and toy items, first start by talking to your veterinarian, who may guide you to work alongside a veterinary behaviorist or with a trusted reward-based trainer during your muzzle training process.
Basket muzzle training is an important life skill for all dogs. When dogs are happy to wear their basket muzzle, it allows us to perform procedures with less restraint, more safety, while still giving treats and taking into consideration the emotional well-being of the pet. For more information on how to take the pet out of petrified
And put the treat into treatment, go to maddiesfun.org
and fearfreepets.com.